Right, 1745, good luck. Okay, that's just, oh, that's connecting and disconnecting there. Let's hope that's all right. 1000 games of rapid, but yeah, I saw that disconnect and reconnect. So let's hope that's okay there. How do I want to do this? I'm going to do an early c5. I don't normally play this line. Yeah, so queen up is likely to be an option. I'm just going to bring the knight up. I'm just trying to develop in castle, keep it simple. What did I say my opponent? Just over 1000 games of rapid, whereas I've played about 70 odd, so much more experienced in this, at least recently. Just developing. If takes, obviously that's a safe pre-move to take back. Queen down might be a move. I think I can develop the bishop. Knight down is a move. I can develop the bishop, but otherwise I'm now going to castle. Okay, it's gone back. I think pawn up makes sense here. But how else do I want to progress? I could do this and this to go here. Rook across with a view to pushing here is a move. Bishop up, I guess knight down. Bishop takes, I don't really like the look of. Yeah, I'm just going to push this pawn one. The knight's not guarded now, so I've got to watch that up. I'm just going to develop the bishop. Or go here and challenge the diagonal. Okay, I didn't expect that. Surely he's not going queenside. If I go here, I can still play here. So I'm going to try and gain space with a view to challenging this now. Just got to watch out. If a knight jumps in, my knight on c6 is not protected by anything. Oh, he's really going bold. Okay. I don't think I should take there. Can I do this? I can't quite now, but I can take. I can go here and sack a pawn. Here. At least I haven't pushed a pawn here, so that's okay. Well, this is obviously dangerous. I'm going to take here just so I don't completely clog everything down. Now, how do you take back? I'm assuming that way and does. So I could potentially go here and sack a pawn to get rid of something. I can go here, bishop or knight in and trade, but that feels a bit loose. I can take and you're just inviting the rooks to pile up, but it might be a good move to take. Could be a disaster, of course. I'm going to push this pawn and see what my opponent's going to do with their king. I think I'm just going to drop the knight back when these fly down the board and eventually try and counter strike. But you've got to think of your own king's safety as well. But obviously this game could go anyway. I could easily lose this one. At some point I'd like to push this pawn, really open things up, but obviously that's very, very bold. It's just giving up material. Let's just get the cursor off the board so I can't do any mouse slicks there. See what my opponent does. Oh, he's disconnected and reconnected again. I hope this is legitimate and not turning engines on and off. That's the second time I've noticed that now. I hope it's perfectly legitimate, that. May not be possible to know. But yeah. Bit disconcerting when you see that. There, it's happened again. It could be just an internet issue, but it says excellent connection. I don't know where my opponent is, though. There's no flag or anything there. You see, if there's a flag by me there isn't by my opponent. Okay, let's just hope that's all okay. Yeah, doing it again, disconnecting, reconnecting. There's nothing I can do. All I can do here is sit and wait for a move to happen. I'm expecting eventually either the king to stay here or castle this side, and then everything just to fly down the board. And in this position as well, an early knight up here allows this takes, and then queen comes down with a double attack, so that's something to watch out. Oh, he's pushed the pawn straight away. Okay, so if I do that, that's going to blunder a piece. So I can't go forward there. Knight e8 feels wrong, so I think knight d7 is kind of an only move. If I go out wide here, I could do this, I guess, actually, and then it stops a pawn. I get momentum hitting the bishop here. Stops this pawn pushing. If that knight moves for an attack, I can defend, potentially. Actually, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, is there? Let's go here and hit the bishop. We can throw in g6. We stop the h-pawn running. But we get a tempo attacking the bishop here. Okay, goes back there. Now, can I just sack a pawn? Can I go here and sack a pawn now? Just to open things up. Probably a little bit bold, that. I've maybe got actually bishop here with a view to going here. That could be useful. I can push this pawn. I think I'll do this for now while I try and work something out. Not to burn all my time away. I'm up on the clock this one. But at least there's a pawn planted there if my opponent wants to castle this side. I expect the pawn will just counter push, and then maybe I can try and jump the knight. But I'm more likely to try and break out this side eventually. But I mustn't forget now, if that knight moves, this knight is loose, so I'm pretty certain I'm going to have to play g6, and it gives the knight a bailout square as well. Maybe queen c7, actually. Have I overlooked that? Queen c7. Potentially I can bring the knight in and get rid of the light squared bishop or the dark squared bishop. But it does invite that h-pawn to run down the board. But queen c7 now gives me a target here. So queen c7, knight in, you're attacking here, but I can just take here. Gain a knight, lose a knight, gain the bishop. But I think I need to be sensible. I'm just going to go here, make sure my knight's guarded. Okay, there's a weakness here now, of course. But my knight's guarded. I'm looking at queen c7 to hit the pawn with a view to the knight coming here. If this pawn comes again, then I'm going to jump around like this, I think. Even if I lose a pawn in the process, I think that would be alright. Now I'm pressuring this pawn. You're probably going to play this at some point. If you push the pawn to guard, there's kind of no reason not to. But yeah, you can imagine a white knight, if it redeploys to h2, g4, that's got some very big jumps around it can do. So I'm just going to go here now again. Try not to burn too much time. Put pressure on the clock, but I'm also potentially coming here or trying to push here. I want to try and break the position out now. So e5 is a candidate move. And then if either takes back, I can take myself. So I like the look of e5 next, and we're putting distance pressure on the c3 pawn. Of course, if e5, I guess you've got to look out for a move like b5 there. Can I ignore that and then push on? Possibly. But yeah, knight comes in, I have to take. If this pawn moves knight here to here, then it's got some very nice outposts. I'll have to try and get the bishop back. So still a 3-result game, this one. It could be anybody's, this. Yeah, it's disconnecting and reconnecting again. It's very disconcerting when you see that. I hope it's perfectly legitimate, of course. Actually, that's quite a difference, actually, isn't it? Opponent's 1745 in rapid, but only 11 and 13 in bullet and blitz. That's a heck of a difference. Heck of a difference. My ratings are virtually the same in all of them. Right, queen has come over, so knight here is a move. E5 is a move. I can move my knight with a view to attacking on c3. I'm looking at e5 as my first choice, but knight here hits queen and bishop, so I can get rid of that light squared bishop. But once my knight moves, this h-pawn doesn't have anything stopping it. So if I go here, the queen can't go onto a dark square or the bishop to pin my queen. So I'm threatening to take and open up or just to fork 2 pieces. So I'm just going to push the pawn and again try and stay up on the clock. I'm assuming my opponent's going to castle kingside. Obviously there's an immediate threat in the position to go here now. Just fork 2 pieces. If takes, I think I can just take back. If the bishop tried to pin, it can be captured. Same with the queen, and I've got a check threat. And we've still got this long distance attack on the pawn here. So there's still a threat to the pawn once my knight jumps somewhere. Again, I've got the hand off the mouse, so I can't do any accidental moves. So I'll just see what white does. He's going to start getting into time trouble shortly. But 1700 should be able to play quickly. But like I say, it's quite a difference on the rating, though. 1300 in blitz and 1100 in bullet. Bishop comes forward. So is there a knight sacrifice move here? I can still push the pawn, but I was really hoping to take. Well, that's actually dangerous. It gives the bishop a diagonal. So I'm just looking at pushing here, kicking that knight. It doesn't have any really good squares to go to, so I think I'm going to stick to that. Well, but if I go here, the bishop's going to get in potentially. Knight in, I won't be able to trade. Yeah, I've got to play the clock as well as the position. I'm going to try and move this knight and hit the pawn. No obvious squares to go to right now unless this knight jumps in which case I'll capture it. Oh, it's taken here. That's a blunder, I think, because I can take this knight with a view to hitting the queen. So I think I take here. We attack the queen and we still attack the bishop. And the queen doesn't have any easy, obvious way to get in. So we just take, we attack the queen and the bishop. And my pawn's down to 1 minute left now. So I have got 5 minutes. I can actually use some time here now. So obviously it should be just safe to capture. As long as I don't blunder the queen somehow crashing through, but I don't see it. So I'm going to take and hit the pawn. The bishop's gone there, so I've got the option to take, but the problem is it's going to allow the pawn to run. But if I take and the queen takes, I can then take this c3 pawn. There's no immediate knockout blow that I can see. So it feels like it would be good. You'd need 1, 2, 3, say 4, 5 moves to create a mate threat, and your king's going to be wide open. So I think it's fine to take. Have I got any tricks though? Like bishop takes, pawn takes, rook check. I don't see that. I could play rook across first, but then this pawn is weak. I've got bishop up. A nice development move. Well, actually, I've got bishop here now. Then you can't castle with your king. Well, that looks like a good move, actually. I'm going to do that. There's no immediate threat here. Now the king can't run away to the king's side. I'm still threatening takes here. The knight's gone there. Now that should be safe to take if I want to. But take and I now take with check. I think the time pressure is told here. I think it's the right time to take now. Then we get a check here. Yeah, I think it's just the time pressure is told on my opponent here now. But we still only know 3 moves from getting this pawn right up the board, so still not over till it's over. Yeah, nearly out of time now though. Not much I can do now, unless I really have a cataclysmic meltdown, but I'm perfectly capable of doing that, of course. So queen takes, so I think we just take with a check, and the bishop cuts an escape there. So we just take the rook. Now we should just take the queen. It removes all the risk. I maybe even had bishop check there, but it really doesn't matter. I'm going to take this one. Actually not. I'm up a lot of material, so get rid of the knight, and there's no risk whatsoever. So we should get a good win this game. Let's just come forward. Just be careful not to blunder a silly stalemate, of course. That's all that matters now. I guess we come here and hit the pawn. Okay, we get the win.